CZ USA booth at SHOTShow 2019, hanging out with Zach.
Yep.
You are the
Marketing Communications Manager.
Marketing Communications Manager.
Yeah. Kind of a catch-all.
I had to impress him to get here today. What do you got?
We got all sorts. So we're a full-line pistol, rifle, shotgun, suppressor manufacturer, so we've got everything.
Okay.
So right out of the gate, we have our P10S. This is the optic ready. And the thing that makes us even better is this is actually made in the USA. So we've been kicking off our Made in the USA project, making P10s here in our Kansas City headquarters. So this sucker's been a long time coming. We're happy to finally get our production line up and running. They're getting close to rolling out to distribution channels. So this is the S. This is the subcompact.
Right.
So this is a 12+1. We do a C, which we've had on the market for a little while.
That's a 12+1.
Yeah, this is 12+1. The C is a 15+1. The F, the full size, is 19+1. So, you're holding...
Can I look at one thing on this?
Sure.
The magazine release has changed.
Yes, it has. All of them have for 2019. So we had a little bit of customer feedback and basically just wanted to make it easier. And so instead of being the ambi, it's now a reversible. So
and that was a problem, right? It was a truly ambidextrous.
It was an ambidextrous design. You're basically kind of fighting against the pressure of the mag to get it to drop. And so, after, most of the guns didn't have issues. They'd break in, they'd be great. Some of them did. But really, it was just a kind of customer feedback. We had enough people say, hey, make it easier. So it's easier, but it's now not ambi. So it's kind of a give and a take.
P10 series is where it's at.
So that's one of the things we're most excited about. But if we had to pick one thing that we were absolutely over the moon about, it's the 457. So we're obviously we're a full line company. Our rifles have been kind of a customer favorite forever. We have a huge following in the Rimfire side. We've got safari guns. We've got everything. So our Rimfire side got an entire refresh and update this year. So we've had the 455. This is the 457. So this is generationally a step ahead. So everything that we could change about for the 455 to make it better, we did. All the things that we loved about it, we kept the same. So same interchangeable barrel system. So you buy a 22, you can convert it over to 17, you can convert it to 22 Win Mag. It takes 5 minutes. We've reduced the rotation of the bolt so you can fit a bigger scope lower, so you're closer to the bore axis. The big deal is it's got a push-to-fire safety. So the Czechs they've always been their own kind of folks. They always kind of do things their way. The European style was to have that wing safety on the back of the bolt. So instead, now we have a push-to-fire safety that's much more familiar to folks in the U.S. You don't have to pull the trigger to pull the bolt out. You've got a bolt release. The trigger itself is way better. It's fully adjustable for poundage, creep, and over travel. Nice sculpted bottom metal. We basically trimmed a bunch of weight out of the action by making it shorter, slab-siding it. So anything we could do to this thing to make it better, we did, and it still basically retains all the stuff that we love. So that interchangeable barrel system, you can swap it from a light barrel to a heavy barrel. You can swap the stocks out to match. You could put we have an integral suppressed barrel that you can put on this thing. So, you pay the tax stamp, wait the year, and you can get a barrel that goes on here, and it doesn't look any different than this, and it suppresses really well. So, that's the one that we're probably most excited about. It comes in, a dozen different variations.
Is this your stock?
This is Manners. So we team up with Manners. They're right down the road from us. I've had a great relationship with them over the years. Oh, it's beautiful. It's a carbon fiber composite. You've got that carbon fiber coming through the camo. It's just a really, really good looking stock. Heck yeah. And it's sturdy as can be.
That's really nice.
The best thing about it is it's just a sturdy platform for that gun to be in.
Release on the back?
Oh yeah. So it's got QDs on the sides, so you can sling it to your side. It's got a bipod mount, bipod mount QD.
Let me double check our framing right quick. I just want to make sure we're still going
good.
All right. Now this is a contraption.
Well, this was part of a team effort from CZ USA and Manticore Arms.
Okay.
So this is the Scorpion Bullpup. This is a kit. So if you have a Scorpion carbine, a 16-inch carbine, you can build your carbine into a bullpup, make that sucker a lot shorter, a lot more handy. It changes the gun completely. So you basically...
It'll take the same magazines as the Scorpion.
Yeah, same magazines. You can use aftermarket grips. You can use aftermarket triggers, aftermarket mag releases. I mean, all the little goodies that are out there, you can use a lot of them on this bullpup. And if you have a Scorpion SBR, that's even better. You can build your SBR into this bullpup and run a can down inside that handguard. And, man, that makes this thing just sweet.
Now, is that going to be a standalone or a conversion?
Just as a kit, and it retails for $399, so not too shabby.
I can think of one or two companies you just kicked right in the reproductive system with that one.
Well, what's going to kick worse is the trigger. So on bullpups, they kind of have a reputation for having bad triggers. It's just you have so much linkage going on. You're transferring that force from here all the way back to the trigger pack.
Right.
Well, Sven over at Manticore kind of worked some magic using geometry and basically took that trigger pull that on Scorpions is admittedly a bit heavy, and he basically spread the trigger pull out over a longer pull, and it made the trigger pull better than the factory trigger. So it's one of those things you have to see and to believe. It's good. It's very good. So that's something that we're pretty excited about. It's just different. That is a horse of a different color. That's a darn good question. I could find it.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it's legal, street legal.
Oh, totally. Yeah, totally. I mean, it's probably 28 inches. So
that's sort of a changer. That sort of changes a dynamic out there, and most conversion kits are not made by the manufacturer for the gun, aren't they?
True.
So
True.
This was a CZ designed product for a CZ designed product.
Well, we teamed up with Manticore. So Manticore is it's an aftermarket company that does a lot in the bullpup sphere, and so they were the folks to talk to. They know bullpups. You know, they basically know all the bullpups. They build stuff for them, build stuff around them.
Now, is this going to be the next thing you reach for?
The next thing, yeah. So
This is
the Bren 2. So when we're up on social media talking about SHOTShow, this is what everybody's asking to see.
That's 5.56.
It is, yeah. It's also could be had in 7.62 by 3.9, and it's convertible. So you basically just pull 6 bolts on either side, drop that barrel system out, swap out the bolt face. You have a sleeve in here that allows you to use the 7.62 mags instead of the AR-15 mags, and you can convert it over to 7.62.
So is that in the pistol configuration?
This is a pistol, yep. So it's basically 3 different barrel lengths. You have a 8, an 11, and a 14 in the 223, and a 9, an 11, and a 14 in the 7.60 by 3.9.
Will a SB tack fit on it?
Well, it has a buffer tube mount right in the back, so if you needed to fit something...
And it's already got sling mounts on it, too.
Oh, yeah.
Is this reciprocating, or is it just staying still?
On the 805 Bren, the previous generation of this, it had a reciprocating bolt handle because that's what it was spec'd out to have when the first tender was made. So the Bren 2 is a clean sheet design. It starts from scratch. So it's non-reciprocating bolt handle, fully ambi controls. You have an AR-15 style bolt catch and bolt release. Right. And you also have a bolt catch, bolt release in the front of the trigger guard. So you're able to pull it back, lock that bolt open from inside the trigger guard. Then you can release it too.
Is this the magazine release right here?
Yep. So you have a magazine release in the normal AR-15 side, and also one on the other side as well.
Show that up close.
Yeah. So mag release is ambi, and you also have a bolt release and a bolt catch here that you can activate from inside the trigger guard.
Okay.
So yeah, fully ambi gun.
Right before you showed me that, I was talking to Danae about what I want to review next. Because, see, I want to make a kit that I call the Not Today Antifa kit.
Okay.
And I'm going to presume that if it had a SB tack, with the SB tack fold?
I'm sure they're working on one. We've worked with SB over the years to try to keep them apprised of what we have coming out. So I would assume they're folding brace.
Now, whenever I talk to you or Jason, it seems like you guys have already made arrangements and created relationships to do the collaboration, but everything that you do looks undeniably CZ.
Well, excellent. One of the big things what we value is all the people that are around us that support us. So we're kind of we're not the biggest brand in the world. There are a lot of brands here at SHOTShow that are bigger, but we try to work with all the aftermarket folks, the folks that have a business that surround our business. Try to work with them and try to help them put out the best products they can and be relevant with what we have coming. So that it takes some work, but it's something we kind of pride ourselves on.
All of these products, they are coming to market or in market now?
We're trying. So when we debut here at SHOT, our goal is to have as many of them as possible shipping in that first quarter. It kind of is an ebb and flow because we have factory fulfillment from the Czech Republic, from our shotgun factories in Turkey, and then also some here in the U.S. And it's kind of a dance to try to get them all to market as quickly as possible.
I tried to. I did a video where I tried to pronounce the true pronunciation of CZ.
Yeah.
Do you know the true pronunciation of CZ?
I know it. The question is if my tongue will cooperate.
We don't have to go there. We don't have to go there. You want to try it?
Okay.
All right.
Ceska Zbrojovka.
Ceska Zbrojovka.
Ceska Zbrojovka. And I'll say it different every time.
CZ.
CZ. It's
so,
easier. The Czech Armory.
There will be something coming up on the website when everything's coming to market.
For sure. Yeah, so the best way to find info on when things are shipping is we answer questions all the time on social media. So at CZ USA Firearms on Instagram, Facebook. Don't really do much with our Twitter. But yeah, hit us up on Instagram and Facebook.
I don't know if you're missing anything on Twitter. I mean, that's your thing, isn't it? I mean, when you look at the various hierarchies, where do you see that one at?
It's Instagram.
Instagram, okay.
Yeah, that's what we do.
To find them and everything else they got going on, go to CZ. To find them and everything they got going on, go to CZ-USA.com.
Yep.
Lock and Load Radio sponsor. Crazed innovation going on here. And this has been in my bucket list since, it precedes CZ USA by about 13 years.
No kidding. Good.
They ran out of them at the Rod and Gun Club in 1985 when we could buy them. I had to settle for a Taurus PT-99.
Should have been there quicker.
I know. CZ-USA.com. Thank you, Zach.
Yep.